Greetings. This is the commentary and sermonette on the song, Except You. I wrote this October 3rd and 4th, 1986, so it came together very quickly. Once I got the theme, it's just a matter of putting it together in the order I wanted it. And of course the theme is how amazing all this is to everyone except you. As I was working through this, I felt this a bit of a fragile song in that it's just me. At the expense of sounding a bit arrogant, I feel like it's a pure song. It's really a little love song from me to the Lord. Quite honestly, that is amazing. A guy like me writing a little love song to the Lord, when I step back and look at that, as brutish as I am, it's just like, wow. When you came into my life, it was so confused and filled with strife that nobody could even begin to make it right except you. That's true. In 1977, I was in real trouble. The introduction to this song on YouTube, I said, the troubles I have now are whirlwinds, and they're very real troubles. But in 77, I was in a hurricane, and it had a lot of whirlwinds embedded in that hurricane. I wish I could see an alternative lifeline of what my life would have been had the Lord not intervened. I don't want to experience that other lifeline, but I'd really like to be able to see what it was. Because if I could see what it was, anything that comes down my path in the current lifeline I'm in, the real lifeline, the lifeline the Lord has put me on, I wouldn't be complaining, as I could see what my life would have been. There was a Star Trek episode that basically was on that same theme. They were going along in space, and the Enterprise all of a sudden saw another ship, and they identified it. It was their own ship, and it had popped out of a space warp or something. Very creative. Well, then others started popping out, and as they would communicate with these different crews, they could see themselves, and some of them were in all kinds of wars, some were on the brink of disasters. There was all kinds of different ways that their life would have gone had circumstances been different. So I think it'd be helpful for us to think about where might we be had the Lord not intervened, if you're a Christian, to think that way, and that can help in your present troubles. The second verse said, Lord, you know, I've written many a song on this very theme, and no doubt you've done more for me, much more for me than initial salvation. But the wonder of that love is amazing to everyone except you. Then I said, I'm pretty sure that's true too. In my songs, I keep coming back to the salvation theme. Now this is the 39th song that I've posted here on YouTube, but it's actually song 155 or so out of about 177 or maybe 180 original songs. So a lot of these that I haven't recorded, the other 150 whatever, many of them are about my salvation experience and what the Lord has done. So I kept coming back to this, and I said, you know, I've written many songs on this very theme, but as coming back to it, it humbles me for one thing, thinking about where I may have been if the Lord hadn't intervened. Also, I realized there's no reason He should have entered my timeline and turned me around, give me the sense to call upon Him. Now maybe you're going to stand before Him and saying you figured all this out, called on Him, not me. So my complaints in light of this commitment that He's made towards me just don't really have any real place. Now I do have complaints, and some of them are valid. I mean, Lot, his righteous soul was vexed daily because of the conduct of unprincipled men. And even in the Revelation, when the fifth seal was broken, it says, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God. These are martyrs, and because of the testimony which they had maintained. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, here's the complaint, how long, O Lord, holy and true, wilt thou refrain from judging and avenging our blood on those who dwell on the earth? For they weren't saying, O Lord, forgive them, they know not what they do. They were saying, how long, O Lord, before you avenge our blood? See, that was a complaint. That's a real complaint. But even with legitimate complaints that I might have. I know that he's always deeper than those complaints. He's always bigger than whatever that problem is. And so oftentimes I'll ask him, Lord, as your son, I ask you to make me bigger than this because I know you are bigger. You created the universe. You created the heavens and the earth out of nothing. 1,000 years is like a day when it's past in your sight. So many of your children have been through these kinds of struggles that I might be experiencing. And the question is, have you seen them through it? The answer is yes. Therefore, I don't want to pretend that the power of sin doesn't exist if it's evil that's come against me. And it does have power, and it does injure, and it does do damage. But I also know God is bigger than that, and I've asked him as his son if he would make me bigger than that I might come through this thing, overcome the world in his victory. A recent experience that I've been enduring, Lord has been really good communicating with me through his word. And there's one place in Psalm 68, listen to this. Sing to God, sing praises to his name. Cast up a highway for him who rides through the deserts, plural, whose name is the Lord, and exalt before him. It says cast up a highway. Another translation says build a highway for him who rides through the deserts. We're in this age and we're going to go through various deserts if we live long enough. And it's a picture, at least the way I saw it, is Jesus coming on a horse, riding through the desert, and he spies me, and I look up, raise my hand up to him, and he grabs me and throws me on the back of that horse, and we ride through the desert. So build a highway, or make a highway for him who rides through the deserts, and he'll come get you. He's going to come get us. But the wonder of that love is amazing to everyone except you. I'm pretty sure that's true too. I know this for sure. This love that God has exhibited towards me, it is amazing to the chosen angels, seeing what he has done. I think they are stunned at God, the holy creator of the heavens and the earth, eternal creator, devising a plan where he can reach down and work with someone like me. As far as other people are concerned, we're so blind and dead and dull and self-centered that it won't really be till the judgment that the awe of what God has done in working with someone like myself or you is marveled at. In fact, I believe that in various areas where we've been delivered from some sin that had overcome us, we're going to be a trophy, an example of what could have been done for those who decide or who stay in those sins, that they could have been delivered. Verse 3. There's no one who can build properly upon the foundation of their own salvation. I mean, who can really know what will truly make them grow except you? And no doubt, that's true. What is God's goal as far as us as a Christian? His goal is to make us Christ-like. That is a miraculous undertaking, to go from one who is dead in sin, one who's twisted all the images of God in various ways, one who's completely self-centered, a creature like that, me, to be made like Christ. There's no way I can know, there's no way any of us can know what needs to happen to accomplish that, and in what order that needs to happen for that goal to be achieved. Now, I really think we're going to learn that God's timing, that he's prepared us for things that are coming down the pipe, to where then we can successfully navigate those waters and come out the other end being more Christ-like. As I thought on this, there's been hundreds of times in my Christian life I've asked God for the base of the Christian faith. And I was always thinking about doctrinally the basic teachings of the Word of God, where I can build properly. But I've decided that needs to be expanded to my experiences too, the base of the Christian faith, praying that God would order, which he's going to anyway. It's really more for my sake to realize this. He's going to order the experiences that I go through in this life. to accomplish that goal. Therefore, I can know that He's leading me and guiding me for His name's sake in and out of various chapters, many times hard things. But the point is, I can know He's ordering these experiences that if I will seek Him, He will cause those things to work together towards good to those who continue loving Him, continue seeking Him, and that He'll use these experiences to make me more Christ-like. And the same applies to you. So it's just not doctrinally we need to grow, it's experientially we need to grow and know that that's the case. Then I come back to the song to the first verse, but I modified it just a little bit. I said, when you came into my life, O Lord, you remember, it was so confused and so full of strife that nobody could even begin to make it right, except you. I'm kind of saying you remember. Who remembers? The Lord knows. Do I remember? I remember. So 40 years later almost, since I've been a Christian, there's a lot of solidness that He's given me, but there's still lots of uncertainty. There's a lot of needs that I have, lots of flaws. I'm still in many ways in the same place. Why am I here? Why have you made me? What is your will, design, plan for my life? What do you want me to do? I can't call myself to ministry. I can't commission myself. Isn't that the role of the commander of the Lord's army, of Jesus Himself? We're soldiers. We're not the general. He puts us into active service. So I'm still in the same place in that seeking why I'm here and what the Lord would have for me to do. But as far as behaviorally, I wrote this, I said, He alone can fix me, and only He can fix me. It all comes in a big circle. He alone can fix me, and only He can fix me. Maybe I'm saying the same thing in a roundabout way. So in conclusion, I hope you're making your own life little love songs to the Lord, where you're thinking about Him scripturally, what He's done for you, how He's used you in the past, how He got you out of jams and hard spots, and how that He's been a friend that sticks closer than a brother. So the works that you do for Him, make them little love songs. Serve the Lord with gladness. Thank Him for the opportunity to do things for other people in His name. That is your song to Him. Well, thank you for listening. Like I always say, listen. Too cold to have that t-shirt on today. Learn, you will live. All right. Kind of bumbled around, even though I prepared as much as I did. Great.